Killed a little 4-year-old girl and shot up her father. Me can't believe up to the day.
Popular female TikToker shot 6 times and killed in Kingston. Also making today's exclusive, Minister Daryl Vaz caught stealing over 200 Starlink unit after Hurricane Melissa. Also, we have making today's exclusive, Manchester's investigators delivering ear-tight cases, says divisional commander. And we also have making today's exclusive update. A 4-year-old was shot dead and his father wounded in Manchester's gun attack. So before we get no further in detail in these exclusives, which I'm sure you guys are going to want to stay tuned for, but just going to kindly emphasize that all of my lovely supporters, they must smash up that thumbs up button, which is very important to the movement over here at Common Sense. Remember, the faster we get the thumbs up, past 1,000 likes quick and fast, is the faster YouTube will automatically rank and recommend the videos and push it out to more law-abiding citizens so they could get these updates needed to better protect themselves and their loved ones from these criminal rugrats, likewise these criminal activities. Also remember the golden rule now, more people, which is to press that red subscribe button down below, press the bell beside it, and press all. So that's as me drop an X Factor exclusive, you guys will be one of the first persons to receive it. Remember also to share your individual thoughts in the comment section, and I, Common Sense, personally will be responding to those comments. So now let's get more in detail in these exclusives, which you guys have been waiting on, one of which, as I said before, a popular entertainer, a popular TikToker, man was shot 6 times, people. This female TikToker is well known, and as I say, she is now identified as KK. People, it not look good, and people, this is sort of energy draining. You see, all of these youngsters who have bright futures has just been taken out of our Jamaican society by the hands of these criminal elements. So the news reaching us over here at Common Sense Online, people, is stating that a female identified locally by her alias on TikTok as KK was shot and killed by criminal elements in Riverton City, St. Andrew, Jamaica, on the night of February the 6th, 2026. Key details from the recent reports include the incident's location, which the shooting occurred within the Riverton City community and the area under the jurisdiction of the St. Andrew South Police Division. The victim identification, while her full legal name has not yet been officially released by authorities, community members and local media have identified her as KK. The police present the St. Andrew South Division, which has seen high rates of violence recently, is leading the investigation into the motive and the perpetrators involved. Reports regarding the incident are still developing. Local news outlets like Common Sense Online and social media news updates are monitoring the further official statements from the Jamaica Constabulary Force. So basically, people, as I may say, yeah, this young female TikToker, as well them say, everybody's supposed to know her. She's the little baller girl, the little female. They don't know she like girls also from over there in Riverton. She is very popular on TikTok. She's well known in the Kingston space for playing football. As I may say, she's very popular on TikTok also. So right now, them say she pick up about 6 to 7 can in her head, people, be a headshot. And we don't really know the motive behind of this analyzing of this youngster, people. Likewise, we don't know the motive or what she's involved in, because big woman think that space down there in a St. Andrew South, that is a very troubled, violence plagued area, people. And to be truthful, to be factual, a lot of things could cause this young lady to lose her life, which, as I may say, that doesn't give nobody the right to come and analyze the people in pitney, you see me? That's why, as I may say, sometimes I bet been come out here as Common Sense and say to my people, them say, make sure that una take heed, make sure that una stay out of the criminal elements, them we make sure that una stay far from these criminal rugrats. Una no want have nothing to do with them, no want a friend from them, una no want a protection from them. Make God be your protection, brother, and you and your Common Sense be your protection. You don't need nobody to know your business, because you see, in a them garrison there, the moment you rise, the moment you shine, people just find all kind of allegation for drop on you. They go tell the Dan, and the Dan himself is just another fool. Send man come kill you, and them not do no in detail research and find out if what is being said is true. And that's why them most of them then end up dead, because what? Them always is like a press button business. Them have some local numbskull killers at them foot, and anything the killers them say they done them willing to do, because what them want to sit down behind a wall, sit down behind curtain, and instruct man to go get themselves destroyed. You see me? Because as I may say, if you live in a inner city, we know how Jamaica run and we are going to just be logical. We know how the Jamaican system run. A big community like Riverton run by so much gangsters, run by so much Dan. She can't just dead in that community as a well-known person. She can't just dead so without the Dan them giving the go-ahead or some man with power giving the go-ahead for this young lady to be taken out just like that people, and we're going to just be straightforward. That's why we are emphasizing the police officers them need to make their presence be known down there in that Riverton community, make them know, say, guess what, we're not going to just make this young lady lose her life just like that, we're going to make an example out of the criminal elements who are involved. So we are emphasizing, we are playing, we are beg the police officers them, say, so whenever we want to catch the criminal elements them, who is responsible for this young lady by the name of KK's death, we are asking if you send them to Shotai country for it. Please give them the same treatment, give them a dose of their own medicine. Because as I may say, KK might be a tomboy, she might be a girl who act like boy, but at the end of the day, from you see them man a kill female, them a kill baby, them a kill the old people, them, them not have no heart. So at the same treatment we beg the police them for put on them once them can find concrete proof, concrete evidence that they are criminal elements, that they are one of the set of criminal rugrats who we have been trying to get rid of out of our Jamaican society. Because as me say, these criminal elements have a plan for try and destroy our youths, destroy our society, but we won't allow them. That's why we've been asked the help and the support from you guys over here. If make sure so we not share up the videos them, make sure so we not like up the videos them, knowing that the more likes the video get, the faster YouTube will rank and push out the videos to more people so them can get the updates needed to better protect themselves and their loved ones from these type of criminal activities. Likewise, these criminal rugrats of these nature. At the same time, we don't know we're not going to elaborate too much on this one incident because we have a lot of updates for you guys. One of which is stating that we are now in a dangerous precedent because Miss Minister Darrell Vaz was caught in the position of stealing over 200 units of Starlink after the whole hurricane season. You see me? And remember, those Starlink units were sent for the relief of persons who were badly hit by the hurricane Melissa. You understand? So the news reaching us over here at Common Sense Online is stating that accountability advocates are warning that accepting good intention as justification for breaching procurement law could undermine Jamaica's system of public administration, following an Auditor General finding that senior government minister Darrell Vaz improperly acquired 200 Starlink devices after Hurricane Melissa. Janet Calder, Executive Director of the Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal JAMP, said that while she does not question Vaz's sincerity, endorsing his action would create a precedent allowing public officials to disregard the law whenever urgency is claimed. She argued that if the country and the head of government, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, accepts Vaz's explanation as justification for the procurement breaches, then the entire public administration framework could collapse. Calder is of the view that if the minister's infraction is not reproved, it would send a signal that any government official can violate laws by claiming good intention and urgency. On with on what legal basis would the Prime Minister reject their claims if he accepts Minister Vaz? She questioned. Also, it is further that the JAMP Executive Director asks why shouldn't sincerity obstruct a permanent secretary from disciplining a public servant who violates the staff orders? The law would be rendered meaningless. Her comments followed a compliance audit tabled in Parliament last week, in which Auditor General Pamela Monroe Ellis found that Vaz breached procurement rules by bypassing established procedures to acquire 200 Starlink devices. The report also stated that weeks after the acquisition, at least 121 of these devices were not being used. Also, Principal Director of National Integrity Action (NIA), Dr. Gavin Meyer, said he was surprised that while the communication tools remain unused, there was demonstrable need that was not met. He added that the public should have been informed about the criteria or need assessment used in the allocation of the devices to ensure transparency. Overstepped his policy-making role. The Auditor General concluded that Vaz overstepped his policy-making role and usurped the function of the Head of Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management Management (ADPEM), who is the accounting officer responsible for disaster-related procurement. Vaz has rejected the findings, calling them uninformed and grossly inaccurate. In a series of posts on the social media platform X last Wednesday, Vaz said, "If in the midst of panic buying and pricing gouging, I am being faulted for intervening to secure devices to assist a national response, then I make no apologies and take full responsibility." He continued, "I strongly reject any suggestion of wrongdoing for my justifiable actions." Vaz insists that all steps taken were in keeping with the guidance note and on the acquisition of goods, service, and work in the situation of emergency and or extreme urgency issued by Office of Public Procurement Policy. He contended that after October the 28, 2025 hurricane, the only reliable source of internet connectivity was through Starlink, and demand quickly depleted the local supply. The minister noted that rapid procurement of the devices was essential to restore communication for households, business, government services, emergency responders, and disaster relief teams. Calder agreed that the guidance note to which Vaz referred is relevant in assessing his claim. However, rather than supporting his action, she believes it explicitly renders them unlawful. Yes, it was an emergency. Speed was required, connectivity was vital, and obtaining the devices without a competitive process is allowed, said Calder. However, she said the Minister of Finance guidance note demands that in a situation of emergency or extreme urgency, the head of procuring entity should organize the procurement processes of the entity so as to enable a swift and decisive response. Myers also stressed that public officials are bound by established rules. The NIA head said by inserting himself in the procurement process, Vaz erred, notwithstanding his stated well-intentioned motives. Emergency procurement procedures have been used on a regular basis in Jamaica as we face multiplicities of situations required their use. What the minister did in this case was entered into area that by his role and duty he shouldn't have, he said. Turning to another finding of the Auditor General that the National Disaster Fund Committee (NDFC) was missing in action with no appointments made in at least 24 months, Calder said this was a glaring breach of the law. The committee has the critical responsibility of managing the National Disaster Fund (NDF) to facilitate the allocations of sums for relief and other purposes in the wake of natural disaster. I am surprised that for a country that lives under the threat of at least a tropical storm or possible a hurricane every year, that we would find the committee not meeting, even when the legislation stipulates that it must meet. In fact, the Disaster Risk Management Act stipulates that the committee must meet once every 2 months. The committee last met in 2023, Calder said, pointing out that despite the passage of the Category 4 Hurricane Beryl in July 2024, which caused extensive damage to the infrastructure and the agricultural sector, the NDFC did not meet before or after the storm. Calder questioned how it was possible that 3 months after the passage of the country's most catastrophic storm, it still did not occur to the government that the community had not met. Calder said the records indicate that 4.5 billion was spent between the contingency and this national disaster fund. So the question is, since the law stipulates that no one can spend out of the funds without the NDFC being consulted, then isn't that a breach of law? Yeah, man, my people. So basically, as with them I say, right now it look like Vaz is in a puddle of mud, a ant's nest where him it's like him dig him own a grave, because true you don't know corruption is a thing in our Jamaican society, and we don't know if them feel like say them bigger than the law through them a government, yeah, them a public figure, them feel like say yeah. Public servant should say people them feel like say yo the government them or the justice system won't be looking at them. Well no, see Mr. Vaz get himself in a trouble for practically a steal. We are gonna consider this stealing 200 Starlink unit, and as on here $4.8 billion spent out of the National Disaster Fund, and they them never consulted the agency which should have been consulted, because based on the law, Jano Star, it not look good for sister with Jamaican, the heads of government of them same one a tear down among the same country where them claim say them are build up. People, we not gonna get put hands on too much things that we don't know about. As what me I say, me I leave that to all of my politicians them, all of my political activists them who know about that part of the world. You can debate about that in the comment section and give us even a better insight of what is really being said about Mr. Vaz and the whole 200 Starlink unit which he acquired without even confirming. Also, as I may I say, we have more exclusive updates, which we know so you guys have been waiting. And as I may I say, it is stating that Manchester investigators, normal people, they are on the point right now of stating that them upon a airlift state. You see me? Basically, where the Manchester police them are trying to make we know say the investigators them down there in Manchester, them are delivering airlift cases saying divisional commander. Basically what that means, commanding officer for the Manchester Division Superintendent Kerry Duncan has praised the works of the detectives in the parish, noting that the quality of investigations being carried out indirectly translating into strong conviction rates before the court. In a release from the Constabulary Communications Network, CCN, Superintendent Duncan said the division's recent success is rooted in what he described as the highest quality information and intelligence apparatus combined with investigative capacity and operational agility that allows police to identify, arrest, and charge the right individuals. We have the ability, the capability to build airtight cases that we know when they are brought before the court, we will certainly secure convictions, he said. Speaking with the CCN, the divisional commander disclosed that since the start of the current court circuit, 11 persons have been convicted in Manchester, including 3 for murder. Sentences have ranged from 15 to 35 years imprisonment. Duncan noted that the convictions have also been secured for a range of other criminal activities across the division. We take pride in Manchester in bringing matters before the court, he said. The superintendent sought to reassure residents that Manchester remains a very, very safe place despite challenges in limited areas outside the town centre. Mandeville, the general Manchester area, is indeed a very safe space at this time. He said, noting that up to the end of January last year, there had been no murders recorded within the town centre itself. Addressing recent violent incidents, Superintendent Duncan said investigations have already resulted in arrest of one suspect, with police confident that charges will be laid. He also appealed to another person of interest to voluntarily report to the police. Also, it is stating that we are still asking that he makes the conscious decision and turn himself into us. We certainly want to ask him some question that we believe will help us to advance our investigations, he said. The divisional commander cautioned against any perception that violent crime can be committed in Manchester with impunity. I don't want persons to believe that it is okay to commit violent acts in Manchester with the hope that they will get away, he said. Our investigative processes in Manchester are of the highest quality, and we're seeing where that has played out in terms of arrests and convictions. Duncan also issued a warning to criminal suspects against engaging police officers with violence, stressing that the preferred outcome is arrest and prosecution rather than deadly confrontation. If it is that we have any reason at all to come for you, it is very unwise that you will raise your weapon at us, Superintendent Duncan said. Certainly we will be responding and responding quite effectively. It is in your interest to surrender peacefully. We want you to live to have your day in court, he added. Looking ahead, he expressed confidence that the gains made will be built upon in the coming year. What we saw last year is nothing compared to what we believe we will achieve in 2026, said Duncan. He stressed that the results in the Manchester division reflect the wider emphasis within the Jamaica Constabulary Force on intelligence-led policing, strong case building, and securing justice through the courts. So right now, basically, as the mayor said, Mr. Kerry Duncan, you don't know, superintendent for the Manchester division people. This man is confident, and based on the action, based on the works of the police officers them down there, we are very confident that this man will keep the crime rate down there in a Manchester, which has been a peaceful parish in a Jamaica for a time now, people. We have seen low crime rate down there. As I may say, people, we just emphasize that the police officers them just make sure so when them get rid of these criminal elements, them do so lawfully. They make sure so them have concrete proof, concrete evidence to prove that these criminal elements are involved in crime before them take rid of them or get rid of them and send them to shut our country, because we don't want them go behind a bar go eat taxpayers' money, hard working money. Me I tell you, about 3 meals a day and no bills to pay. We not depend on that. So once we not now go for them police officers want to know them dirty criminal rugrats involved in a criminal activities. Worse, if you no catch them with any contraband, illegal contraband, you know what me I talk about like the GUN, me I ask you please to get rid of them out of the country once and for all. You get where I say we not go pressure one, we not go block the road, we not go protest nothing about that. Once you know have proof for sure say they are a criminal element, we are gonna just know say yeah, so it go get rid of them once and for all, get rid of them for good. So now we are gonna just get more in detail in the exclusive of all exclusive which you guys have been waiting on, which is stating that a 4-year-old baby was shot dead and the father was wounded in Manchester's gun attack. So a 4-year-old girl was shot dead and her father injured in a gun attack in land settlement near Royal Flat in Manchester on Sunday. Relatives have so far only identified the child as Sonia. Preliminary reports from the police are that about 4:20 p.m. the child and her father were in a black Toyota Vaxi when they were ambushed by gunmen who opened fire on the vehicle. The injured man and his child were rushed to the Mandeville Regional Hospital where the 4-year-old girl was pronounced dead on arrival. Up to 8 p.m. on Sunday, police were still processing both the shooting scene and the Toyota Vaxi. Jano Star, the odds of gunmen are really wicked, na people. Yeah, tell me, says a 4-year-old child, the man them really shoot. Whether or not them did know, say the mother or the father did this with the pitney brother. You can't tell me, say you really have the heart to shoot a 4-year-old child. Oh, mankind so wicked, me don't know, brother. Me say, oh, see when police officers catch all the little dirty criminal, the dirty rugrat, them responsible for all these little girls unaliving and them father being hospitalized in serious condition. Me I tell you no man, no mercy at all. We don't want to know if you have on them dirty criminal rugrat there. Anybody name on the ear call upon it if it not go so near go so. So if a man can point out him friend and hold them, Mr. Officer, and find out who really and truly shoot this little baby girl, me I tell you no make them feel the hands of God, man. Send them home to shut eye country, man, cause them not for there amongst the land that they live in. Me tell you no about them dirty criminal already, you know, people. So them not have no heart, you know, don't all the baby on the breast, them man, I want to kill and wanna see it. Before the night done, me have to come explain to you about another incident where the dirty criminal rugrat them kill a 4-year-old baby. What kind of heart you know have, brother? Me tell you say, yo, John no start this thing really and truly I get out of hand. And people, you see, if anybody have any information pertaining to these dirty criminal rugrats who was involved in the killing of this child, we want to know make sure. So if you not have to do it secretive, if you not have to build a fake page or get a wrong number and private in a call and call the police them and tell them exactly who is involved, we not do so, please. Let's get rid of man. People like them enough if they run with them, the heart to kill pitney brother. You know if they enough if they run good people pitney man. If it dead or they behind the bars and ratting out, man. Remember me telling you that. So people remember once more again, this is the host Common Sense. Just come with a quick update to give you guys a quick update and an insight on what is taking place within our Jamaican society with these dirty criminal rugrats and these criminal activities. Remember to share your individual thoughts within the comment section. Remember the golden rule, which is to press that red subscribe button down below, press the bell beside it, and press also that's as me drop an X Factor exclusive. You guys be one of the first persons to receive it. And remember also, people, to smash up the thumbs up button. Let's get it past 1,000 likes quick and fast. Remember, the faster we get the thumbs up button past 1,000 likes, it's the quicker YouTube will automatically rank and recommend the videos within its algorithm and push it out to more law-abiding citizens so them can get them updates needed better protect themselves from these criminal elements. Likewise, these criminal rugrats, people. So right now, people, but that's I emphasize to all of my lovely supporters. I have a blessed day and night. Anytime you guys are watching this exclusive update, just hope you have a peaceful one. Yeah, man, my people. No love, no respect. I'm out.